All right, let's talk about something that's on a lot of people's minds right now, market anxiety. We're going to break down an economic model that's built for these exact moments. It's a system designed not just to weather a storm, but to actually use the downturn as a launch pad for some serious growth. So let's dive in and see how this thing turns fear into fuel.
So, you open up your portfolio, and it's just a sea of red. Your heart sinks a little, right? That's a totally natural feeling. The gut instinct for so many of us is to hit the sell button, to just cut our losses and stop the bleeding. But what if that instinct, that gut reaction, is completely wrong? What if a market downturn is actually a massive, hidden opportunity? We're about to explore a system built around that very idea.
Here's the game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the classic problem every single investor faces. Then, we'll get into the weeds of Plazm's really unique two-engine design and the real yield that powers the whole thing. And this is the most important part. We'll see exactly how this system flips a downturn on its head, turning it into a huge opportunity that leads to what's called a flywheel effect.
Yeah, when the markets start to tank, our first instinct is pure self-preservation, protect what we have left. But selling in a panic almost always means one thing, selling low. You end up locking in your losses. And that's the dilemma, isn't it? How do you fight that fear and make smart, strategic moves for the long haul? And that brings us to the core idea behind Plazm. It tries to solve a really interesting puzzle. Think about it. How can you possibly get more of something while at the exact same time, each one of those things is designed to become more valuable? It sounds like a total paradox, right? But the answer is in this really cool synchronized two-engine system.
Okay, check this out. It's so clever because it separates the jobs. You've got Engine 1, the value engine. Its one and only mission is to create scarcity. It does that by buying tokens from the market and just destroying them. Poof, gone forever. Then you have Engine 2, the quantity engine. Its job is all about you. It's focused on making the number of tokens in your wallet go up through staking and compounding. Two totally different goals working together perfectly.
So, you might be wondering, what powers these two engines? It's not just printed out of thin air, and it's definitely not magic. The entire system, the whole shebang, runs on one single, super important, high-quality fuel source, real yield. This is the bedrock, the absolute foundation of this entire model.
And this comparison just nails it. On the left, you've got real yield. Think of it like a profitable lemonade stand. You're making actual money from a real business, people buying lemonade. It's earned, it's sustainable. On the right, you've got fake yield. That's a house of cards, plain and simple. It's just paying off early investors with money from new investors. It always collapses. Plazm is built 100% on that lemonade stand model.
So where does this real profit, this lemonade, actually come from? Well, the system puts its capital to work in something called DexFi bonds. The easiest way to think of these are like automated trading strategies. They operate in the crypto markets 24/7, earning tiny little fees from thousands and thousands of trades. It's real economic activity, and all that profit gets collected and turned into USDC, a stable digital dollar. Super reliable.
Now let's look at Engine 1. This is how the system builds value. It's a simple, beautiful, automated loop. First, the system earns that real USDC profit from the bonds. Then, it takes that cash and goes out and buys its own tokens right off the open market. And here's the cool part. It sends those tokens to what's called a burn address, basically deleting them from existence forever. The result? The total supply is always shrinking. It's economics 101. When supply goes down, scarcity and value go up.
Okay, so that's how each token gets rarer. But what about the other side of the coin? How do you get more of them? For that, we fire up Engine 2. And honestly, the best way to think about it is with this quote. It's like a magical piggy bank. You put your tokens in, you're patient, and when you come back later, there are just more of them. So how does this magical piggy bank actually work? It's all about this formula for earning shares. Your shares are what determine your slice of the daily rewards pie. But look really closely at that formula. It's the amount you stake, times the number of days you lock it up, squared. That tiny little 2 right there, that's the secret sauce. That's the rocket fuel. It means that time doesn't just add to your rewards, it multiplies them exponentially.
You know, to make this less abstract and a little more real, let's follow a hypothetical investor. We'll call him Patience Pete, and let's see how this actually works for him.
So Pete stakes 100 Plazm for 10 days. That gets him 10,000 shares, and for that period, let's say he earns a 5 Plazm reward. Pretty simple, right?
But here's where the magic really happens. The next time, he doesn't just stake his original 100, he restakes the whole lot, the 105. Now his share count jumps to 10,500. And this is key. That increase is permanent. He has permanently increased his claim on all future rewards. His rewards are now earning their own rewards. That's compounding.
So let's recap. We have two incredibly powerful engines. One is making every token rarer, and the other is designed to give you more of them. Now, let's connect this all the way back to that scary market downturn we started with. Because here's the punchline. In this system, a slow market isn't a crisis. It's the absolute best time to build your foundation. It's the opportunity.
And the strategy is dead simple. Dollar cost averaging, or DCA. Every time you make a consistent investment during one of these slow periods, you're doing three incredibly powerful things. 1, you're bulking up the capital base in those bonds that earn the real yield. 2, you're supporting the whole ecosystem's health. And 3, most importantly for you, you are compounding your shares, just like Pete. You're systematically beefing up your personal earning power for when things finally turn around.
And that brings us to the payoff, because when the market eventually, inevitably recovers, something truly incredible happens inside those DexFi bonds. The value of all the assets they hold starts to rise, and that triggers what the sources call the rocket fuel effect.
This chart shows it perfectly. Let's say the bonds earn a certain percentage return. In a slow market, that percentage is applied to a smaller asset base, right? It generates a nice, steady trickle of USDC profit. But when the market rebounds, that same percentage is now applied to a much larger base of assets. The result isn't just a little bump. It's an absolute explosion in the amount of USDC profit being generated.
And this massive surge of USDC, this is what ignites the flywheel. All of that patient building you did during the downturn, it's all about to pay off in a huge way, because the entire system is about to get turbocharged by this new flood of real, hard profit.
This is it. This is the payoff in a simple chain reaction. The market rebounds. The bond value surges. That rocket fuel ignites a massive river of USDC. That profit then splits. It slams the accelerator on Engine 1's buy and burn, making your tokens way more scarce. And it floods the reward pool for Engine 2. And because you spent the downturn patiently building up your share base, you are perfectly positioned to capture a huge outsized piece of that supercharged reward pot.
The source material has this perfect analogy for it. Think of yourself as a farmer. During this slow, cold season, you are patiently planting more seeds, tending to your trees. That was you building your shares with Engine 2. Then, when the sun comes back out and the market recovers, not only do you have a massive harvest, more fruit than ever before, but the price of each piece of fruit has also gone way up. That's Engine 1. You literally get more fruit, and each piece of fruit becomes more valuable. And this just drives the point home. That mighty river of new USDC profit, it doesn't just go to one place. It splits right down the middle 50-50, powering both engines at the same time. It accelerates the scarcity through the buy and burn while simultaneously supercharging the reward pool for you, the staker. It is a true double win, and it's all fueled by patience and a market recovery. You know, this whole thing leaves us with a really fascinating final thought. We've just walked through a model that actively rewards your patience and perfectly aligns your own success with the long-term health of the entire system. And it raises a pretty big question. Could these kinds of two-engine models, the ones designed to deliver both more quantity and more value, become the new gold standard for how we build sustainable digital economies in the future? It's definitely something to think about.